Hey, welcome back to the Big Ranch Show. As always, thank you for joining me. If you could, hit that subscribe button down below and let's get right to it. Now, today, this is another video for today. It's going to be uploaded this afternoon. And it has to do with Sun Country Airlines. They have stranded hundreds of passengers down in Mexico because there was a blizzard in Minneapolis and they decided that they would cancel their flights and tell the people, you know what? You're SOL. Sorry, we ain't gonna help you. You're on your own. This airline sent these passengers down to two different destinations in Mexico, Cabo being one of them. The other one I cannot pronounce. And they are stranded there. This company doesn't care. This company, they say, since they've refunded their money, they've met their legal obligations, and these people are stranded. Do you understand how much more they're going to have to pay for tickets to get home? One lady said she had to pay around $4,000 to get her family home after being trapped there. Others don't have the money, and they're stuck there in the airport. This company says that they have no other planes to send. I understand they're a small carrier and everything, but their argument is that, well, we don't send anymore after our season's over going to Mexico for now. We won't send another one until June? You're not going to send another plane to retrieve your passengers until June. And they'll say, hey, Jacob, calm down. They refunded their tickets. Who gives a shit if they refunded their damn tickets or not? Who cares? It's going to cost them probably double or even maybe triple what they paid for those tickets in the first place. So refunding their money doesn't help them get home. Now, if they're extremely well off, sure. Maybe they can afford that $4,000 to come back to get a family of four back home. What if they don't have that kind of money? What if they went down there because maybe they went to Mexico because they found an airline that they thought they could trust and that they could afford? Now, I'll give you a warning, people. I don't fly very often, but from what I'm hearing, from what I'm seeing, if you want to go somewhere, book a legitimate airline. Don't book somebody like, some budget airline that doesn't seem to know what the hell they're doing. I understand that, people want to go to nice places, and you don't want to have to pay a lot to go. But it looks like you can't trust these smaller airlines. But hell, as I say that, I realize that you can't even trust the big ones. I mean, look what United has done multiple times in the last few years to people. Not only have they, pulled people off of flights, they beat somebody up and then drug them off a flight because they overbooked their airline. Or that flight on their airline. This is absolutely disgusting. I cannot believe that this is allowed to happen in America. The fact that there are no regulations requiring an airline to at least help you find a new place to get a flight for similar prices. I mean, if it was just a little bit more, that's one thing. But these prices that they're having to pay for last minute flights are 2 and 3 times more than what they paid for these flights. One person says they're paying more than their entire vacation just to get home. So that's insane. They should be required to help these people get home. I don't care if they have to work with another airline to send these people home. I don't care if they have to send their own damn flight down there. One of their own people even said that they should have sent a rescue flight for these people. And the reason why they say they didn't is because it would disrupt other flights to other destinations. Well, guess what? Those people could have waited. You could have delayed that flight and sent someone down there that should have already been home. Or maybe you could work with other airlines to help these people get home. Or at least provide them with hotel stay until they can get home. Instead, they're left languishing in a damn airport because y'all don't know how to run a company. This is terrible. Hundreds of people trapped in Mexico, hundreds of American citizens trapped in Mexico with no way to get home. And there's no regulations and no rules to help these people get home. They're on their own. Now, Donald Trump, maybe you could do some time. Maybe you could spend some time tweeting about this. If you're going to sit there and waste our time tweeting about BS, complaining about the governor of California all the time, that's all you've done for 2 days is bitch and moan about the governor of California not wanting to spend money on sending National Guard troops to his border. You know, that's all he's tweeted about. Well, what about you tweet about this, Mr. Trump? Huh, President Trump? You want to actually tweet about something that matters? How about you get on Twitter and you start griping about how this company has left hundreds of Americans trapped in Mexico? And how are we going to get them home? Maybe you could say something about that, Mr. Trump. I doubt you will, because you really don't care about us Americans, I don't think. I really don't think you care. Because if you did, you probably would have tweeted about it. I remember the right losing their mind when a former Marine illegally entered Mexico, broke the law in Mexico by having illegal guns in the country, and then Obama got railroaded for months and months and months because he wasn't doing enough to bring the guy home. Well, how about these American citizens who are completely innocent, who bought tickets for an airline they thought they could trust to get them to and from, and they now left them stranded for days? So, Donald Trump, can you do something about that? Could you say something to this company, maybe to get them to send a rescue flight to these people? If not, you prove to me that you really don't care. If all you rather do is complain about Mexicans coming across the border than getting Americans back home from Mexico, then you really don't care about this country. You don't care about our citizens. And that's just what I believe. Now moving on to another story, still in the airline industry, but something far more tragic. And that is the loss of life on a Southwest airline flight from New York to Dallas yesterday afternoon. I think it's about 11 o'clock. Maybe it could have been 11, 12 o'clock, depending on your time zone. But apparently about 20 minutes into the flight from New York, the left engine blew. It exploded, sending shrapnel through one of the windows. It sucked a lady through one lady through the window. From what I was told, she was pulled back in. I've yet to get confirmation on who it was that passed away. I don't know if it was the person that was by the window, or if it was just the lady that got sucked out the window. She died, or who it was that died. But somebody died on the flight. They're investigating to find out what happened. This took place back in 2016 as well. Southwest Airlines engine blew, and the NTSB still hasn't figured it out yet. Southwest hasn't got it figured out yet on what caused that engine on that plane to blow, and they don't quite know what's causing it this time either. So, of course, there'll be an investigation into what caused it. But my condolences to the family of the person who passed away on that flight, and a lot of respect for the pilot getting the plane to the ground safely so nobody else was killed. And to the flight attendants who kept everybody calm, according to all accounts, they did a really good job of keeping everybody calm as the oxygen mask dropped from the ceiling as the cabin depressurized. So thank God that it wasn't worse than it was. It could have been a lot worse. You could have had a lot more fatalities, especially with the cabin depressurizing and everything. It kind of reminded me of a golfer who passed away a good long time ago now, when his plane depressurized. But I'm glad to see that they're able to get the flight to the ground and save everybody else on the plane, minus a few injuries. I'm really sad, though, for the person that passed away, for the family of the person that passed away. It's a tragic event. It's not something you want to see happen on a flight, especially here domestically. We haven't had anyone die, apparently, on from an airline accident since 2009. So it's the first accident fatality in the U.S. in a good while now. Almost 10 years we went without without a major accident at least on a major carrier anyway. And unfortunately, this person passed away. So my condolences to them. But thanks to the pilot and everybody being able to be kept calm by the flight attendants, they made it to the ground with only the one fatality. And so that's got to be that's one big thing right there. One person may have died, and that's very tragic. But I'm glad they were able to get the plane to the ground without anyone else dying. So to the pilot and the flight attendants on that flight, thank you for helping these. Thank you for, one, keeping the people calm, and two, thank you for getting the plane to the ground without any more people passing away or being severely injured. Anyhow, y'all have a great day. I'll see you down the road. And as I mentioned earlier, keep the Bush family in your prayers with the passing of Barbara Bush. They've got to be going through a tough time. And y'all have a great day. I'll see you down the road.